Are you a baseball player that's been dealing with some shoulder pain and it's limiting what you can do in the gym because of that shoulder pain? I'm gonna go over today my go-to overhead pressing variation that I do for pitchers, not only in a rehab setting, but from a performance setting as well. How do I know this? My name is Dr. Jeff Lewis. I'm the owner and physical therapist of Lewis Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, where I have helped countless baseball players get back to throwing pain-free, throwing harder and stronger after an arm injury. Shoulder pain, whether it's during pitching, in the weight room, especially if it's on the front of the shoulder here, can be incredibly frustrating for pitchers because it can limit not only their ability to train, but their ability to pitch. Some of the traditional shoulder pressing variations out there are more strict barbell or overhead kettlebell, dumbbell lifts, and those are all good ways to build general shoulder mobility strength, shoulder strength, but for a lot of times in these pitchers that are already dealing with some shoulder pain on the front of their shoulder, some pain on the front of the shoulder, those are going to be some provocative movements, mainly because it's just going to add a lot more compression to the front of that shoulder without promoting mobility throughout the shoulder blade. That shoulder blade mobility is more often than not limited in these populations and is playing a big role in why they can't press overhead pain-free. When that shoulder blade doesn't move, you're going to essentially run out of room in the front of your shoulder, and when you try to just keep pushing past that, you're going to put a lot more pressure on the structures on the front, whether it's the subacromial space, subacromial bursa, long head of the bicep tendon, labrum. There's a lot of different structures in there. So in these populations where, again, from a rehab or performance setting where we know, hey, we got to do some type of overhead strength and some type of overhead lifting, because the answer isn't to just not do overhead lifting, because then we're going to get weak. So when we're trying to figure out ways to get some pressing involved, how do we go about doing that? That's where the landmine enters into the equation. So landmine presses, love them. They're one of my go-to movements for these populations because it not only allows you to lift overhead, but allows for more thoracic spine involvement and more shoulder blade involvement, specifically with protraction and upper rotation to get that serratus involvement. So for a landmine, again, if you have a landmine post here, great, you can use that. If not, you can put a barbell in a corner, that works as well. So I'm gonna have this be done in split stance, but you can also have it done in a half kneeling position here as well to help keep your core engaged and you're not compensating elsewhere. But for a split stance variation, feet are going to be in front, you're going to be back on those toes here. I'm going to start down at about 90 degrees here. I don't need guys coming down all the way like this, down to their, really down to the side there. It's just probably not going to feel great. It's going to put more stress on their shoulder. So I generally like to have guys start at this about 90-degree elbow angle here. So from here, you're going to press up. And that does not end the movement there. The movement isn't just this from here to here. You're going to press up, and as you press, you're going to get a little bit of a lean into it. You're not rounding forward, keep that thoracic spine extended. And at the top, you're going to punch up with that shoulder blade. So it's almost just like a punch from the shoulder blade. I'm not doing this, it's punching with the shoulder blade. So it's going to look like here, coming down, punching up. Again, you can get a little glove side rotation into it if you like. Hand on the hip, wherever's comfortable. And reaching up. Driving that shoulder blade. The other thing that I will say you don't want to do, I'll show on this side so you can see a little better, is when we're at the top here, what we don't want is punching up by just bringing the shoulder up to the elbow like that. We want it to be through here. So you should feel that along that shoulder blade on the side there. So it's not shoulder up to the neck, it's punch forward and lean through like that to get that serratus involvement. So again, if you're a pitcher that's dealing with some shoulder pain, whether it's from pitching or training, you just want to find more appropriate ways that are comfortable for you to train overhead to keep your strength. Go ahead and try this landmine out. If there's any other questions you have on that, you can leave a comment below, or you can text the number in our comment section below and we'll get back to you with more details on how we can help you.